Welcome to class. Let's begin. We're going to start standing today. Okay, come on back to your mats with me. And when you arrive on your mat or wherever you're practicing, maybe you're outside or you're on a carpet, anything is good. Just make sure that you're finding some space within your body to begin. So we're just going to move a little bit, moving through our shoulders. Maybe you're shrugging them or rolling them. And give yourself a little sway side to side, thinking about your hips, bending your knees, and just moving through your body. Move through your shoulders, your hips and your knees, maybe your toes. Look, I'm gonna lift my toes as I send my body one way. And if your shoulders feel like they need a little more than just those tiny movements, make it a bit bigger. This is organic, intuitive movement in the beginning. So you're just feeling your way down to your mat. Taking your time to roll here. Look around with your neck. Drop your chin for a moment, and if you rolled a bunch one way in your shoulders, see if you enjoy the other way. This one's not always so fun. Maybe make it really little again and see how you feel. Mine feels like I'm doing the funky chicken. How about yours? This is the hard way. So if you're rolling forward with me, see if you can smooth out your edges. Maybe you slow down. I'm gonna pause in my little sway and lift my one heel for a moment. So we're moving organically for one more cycle of breath. Big in through the nose. I'm gonna lean the other way as I exhale. Lift that heel and pull into that calf. And another cycle of breaths to finish organic movement. Then we'll come together, my friends. All right, let's release our arms. Literally give them a little shake. Let everything get loose and your shoulders drop from your ears. Give your hips and your knees a little shake side to side. And then place your hands on your hips for some circles. Now, when you circle your hips, our knees are really bent. And we're going to push our hips out, down, and around. Feel broad in your chest. Tuck your chin a little bit so your neck feels long in the back. And if you feel a hitch, a pinch, anything that's not nice, stay there for a second. Breathe and work into that spot. When you're ready, switch directions. Nice to wake up our hips, especially if they've gone to sleep from sitting all morning at our desks. So we're going to take another few circles. Oh, don't forget, if you find that little spot that's like, feels tight, move there for a sec. You can kind of push and pull. Take another breath in and out here. All right, now let's stretch super duper tall. Reach your fingers to the sky. Flex your wrists. Palms face the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, and your thumbs are wide from the other four fingers. Now turn your palms to face the other way. Fingers come forward. Thumbs are still really wide. Let's flip back and forth, yogi. So we're going to come into some wrist stretching. But while we're stretching, can you get a little bit of a wiggle in your sides to lift you really high? Ribs off your hips. Armpits away from your ribs. One more cycle of breath. In the beginning, open mouth sigh, releasing stale and stagnant energy. Take a circle of your wrists and start to drop them back down by your sides. Oh, if you get a little click in your wrist, go slower. Smooth out that circle, switch directions. That felt nice. Release all the way. Okay, let's breathe together again. Arms rise. Arms fall into forward fold. Big knee bend. We're being nice to our hamstrings here. Reach back to the sky, yogis. Extended mountain pose. Big knee bend. Sweep down to the earth. Inhale twice more like this. Exhale. Last one, big in. And as you make your way back down to forward fold, just pause there for a moment. Hang heavy as necessary, as much as you need to bend your knees, do so to just be kind and sensitive to your hamstrings. So I'm gonna rest my chest right on my thighs for the beginning. Bend elbows and hold opposite biceps. And let your head hang. Give me a big old shake. No tension. No tension today. Shake it off. Let it fly off your hip. And then slow that down. Nod slowly, yes. Yes to making it, to self-care, to loving your body today. Allow your fingertips to fall to the earth and lift your kneecaps just a smidge so you feel more in the backs of your legs. Turn your toes out, your right toes out to the side, and give a little sway side to side. So I've got left toes facing forward, Right toes facing out, feet make an L. And we're gonna sway here, side to side. Easy working into hamstrings. One more breath. Right now your chest is facing your left toes. Turn to the right side, over your right toes, and try the same thing. Sway through your hips, side to side. When we sway in this manner, we begin to work left to right across the backs of our legs. So stillness is fine. Moving in this manner in the beginning will be a little nicer to invite length and suppleness into our back bodies. Switch when you're ready. Come back forward, toes both face forward, and then spin your left toes to the left side. Stay over your right foot for now. Start a little sway side to side. You'll notice right away that just a little bit of movement goes a long way, doesn't it? Let's think about supporting into our low back. So we'll lift our navel up in like we're giving ourselves a hug from front to back. Swing your chest around towards your left toes and keep trying that little sway with your tail, like you're a puppy dog wagging your tail. Let your head fall, back of neck becomes wrinkle-free. Take one more big breath in here. Full exhalation. And when you're ready, yogis, turn both toes towards the top of your mat again. Rebend into your knees and roll yourself to extended mountain pose. I love trailing fingertips along body here. Reaching to the sky. Stretch up as much as you can. Eye gaze follows fingertips. And we're going to hold as we tip to the left. Little tiny tip. Options. Do you need some support for your left side? Hand can come down. You can push your right hip to the side, or for a bit more intensity, you can hold right wrist above. Big stretch. Looking down will be different. We can stretch out through the bottom of shoulder blade, more into the low back. Looking up will help us open our chest. So I encourage you all through class to explore, be inquisitive, see what your body needs in each posture. Center we go, big stretch high. Oh, it felt good. Tip to the right, little tip, and just see where you want to be. Do we need a little help? Oh, I like the hand because that helps you push your hip out. Feels so good. I also like to look down, try that low back stretch. So I go a little bit in each spot. I'm going to tug on my left wrist here for a bigger side bend sensation, and then try to peek upwards. Opening heart, opening chest, and your lung capacity really improves here. Center you go, hands clasped behind your low back. Send your knees down again, and as you clasp, make sure your right thumb is on top. And that way we can switch in a moment. Might feel a little weird to some of us. Wrap around the left side of your body, and as you drop left ear, pull it long. So ordinarily we'll just drop. Feels kind of crunchy in the left side, right? So try today to extend your ear past your shoulder, really create a beautiful soft C shape in the left side of your neck. Breathe into this opening that's being created on the right side. One more breath. Exhale, rise. Reach arms skywards. If your shoulder feels a little stressed, you can shake out as you release. Clasping left hand, thumb on top. Stretch back, maybe soften your knees and wrap your hands around the right side body. As you drop your right ear, think about elongating like a giraffe neck. Really reach out, ear past your right shoulder. Like a go-go gadget neck. Probably won't really happen, but it's nice to envision how long and spacious we can become. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relift eyes, send knuckles back, reach to the sky, and if that left shoulder feels a little crampy, release all the way down to forward fold. Really reach the crown of your head towards the floor. Let's move on, yogis. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers up your shins. You bend your knees as much as your back body needs today. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg lunges back, and when you get there, take a wiggle. Wiggle your heel right to left to get really long in that lunge, and then land the top of your right knee. Let your hips melt down to the floor. Shift back into half split. Left toes may stay down or come up. And we're gonna do that sway one more time for the hamstrings. This one's optional though. Stay still if it feels better for you to tug your hips straight back. Soft left knee. Take a tiny twist to your left side, both hands outside your left side. Can you take your right shoulder towards your right baby toe, your left baby toe? Pull it forward. Keep tugging. So we're really twisting here, stretching into our left hamstring. Coming back and then reaching forward into low lunge. Tabletop. Press palms back. Knees meet next to one another. Find stability by stacking joints. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck both toes and elevate your knees. Welcome your core to the practice. A big component of our smooth moves is activating our core. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're in this together. Hang on. I know your thighs are getting toasty. Breathe in one more time. Keep hovering your knees. Breathe out. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a gigantic open mouth exhalation. Sigh out some of that heat you just generated. Head through elbows, chest to thighs, and thighs to the wall behind you. Let's think about pushing the balls of our feet down, yogis, and out towards the baby toe side of feet. What do you feel? Sits bones spreading wide, right? Back body widening. Good. Push the balls of your feet down, but pull the inner arches of your feet together. Inner thigh squeeze. Do you feel the sits bones closing? Let's try that 3 more times. So we're going to breathe in and exhale to push out. Push out through your baby toes. Breathe in, pull big toes together. Exhale, push out through baby toes. Widen sits bones. Close sits bones. One more big push out. Big pull in. Good job. Lift your heels, soften all of that up. Maybe give your hips a little wiggle, knees a little jiggle. Eye gaze looks forward. Let's tiptoe towards our thumbs. Refinding that forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Inhale, rise to sky. Extended mountain pose. Clasp hands behind low back. Any thumb on top. Soften knees and refold. Let's release here. Maybe give your head a shake anytime it feels necessary. You can rest your thumbs right on your low back or stretch your knuckles skywards. Let's push in the heels of our hands, palms flat together to really pull our chest open. Release fingers as you exhale. Halfway lift again. Breath comes in. Breath out as we fold. Left leg, long lunge back, soft landing. And when you get there, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Left heel, side to side. I'm making a little squeak as I move back. And once you arrive, drop your left knee. Just feel drippy, melting in your hips. Shift your hips back. Straight towards your left heel. You lift or keep your right toes down. And while you're here, think about chin forward, tail back, optionally. Swaying your puppy tail side to side. With our lifted chest, let's twist both hands off to the right side. You're going to think, yogis, about tugging left shoulder past your right baby toe. Keep twisting and elongating your spine as you connect with your breath. Twist back forward, regular half split. Shift into that amazing low lunge, in the hips. And then meet me in tabletop. Forearm tabletop this time. Fingers face top of mat, forearms parallel to one another. And we're going to tuck our toes here to feel extra sticky on the mat. Exhale, roll our back body skywards. Angry cat roll. Take a peek up towards your navel and pull your tailbone down. Inhale, navel melts to the floor. Sits bones are spreading. Do you feel that? Open the crown of your head and your tail skywards. Cow pose where we breathe in. Move with your breath cycle. Exhale, round angry cat. Feel the sits bones pulling together here. Inhale, open, sits bones widen. So cool to feel our entire back body opening, right? Let's take one more breath. Around, make it really long and slow, nurturing your body and catering to its needs today. Finishing up with this inhalation. Walk forearms a bit more forward. Flatten out your spine, navel pulls up, and step your feet back to plank on the forearms. Now, if we need to, we drop our knees and flatten out the tops of your feet too, a modified plank. Otherwise, we're gonna stay really strong here, sawing forward and back, pushing out through our heels, pushing out through the toes. Head moves forward, back and forward for 3. Hello, shoulder warm up. 2 and 1. Good job, yogis. Drop to modified plank, everyone. Climb back to your hands and let's find downward facing dog. Webbing super wide. Open your fingers here. And if we feel any compression in our shoulders, we'll move our fingertips from facing straight forward to out, just a smidge. That'll help us open. Take some organic movement. I love a good walk the dog where we bend and straighten alternating knees. Feel sassy in your hips, send them side to side like you're walking a runway. One more big breath in. And out fully. Let's roll forward together, yogis. Heels rise, body rolls into plank, shoulders over wrists, always available. Knees drop down. Chest widens, collarbones pull forward, and we slowly lower into the earth. Chaturanga. Melt your body in and walk your toes back. Really stretch your lower half long. Let's take fingertips down outside of our shoulders and bend into our knuckles. So we feel like we're palming a tennis ball and we're gonna try to pop it with our hands. All 10 toenails press down. Elevate from the back of your neck, feeling like you have little iguana legs for arms. Lift your chin, look forward, and melt right back down. Rolling iguanas. Exhale, rise. Look forward, inhale, release. Exhale. If your back feels tight while you move through your rolling iguanas, widen your feet left to right and consider unclenching your cheeks. Sometimes we squeeze our butt and that can make things a little tighter. One more time. Release, palms somewhere close to your chest to guide you back to child's pose. Whenever you need a rest in any yoga class, this is such a beautiful place to pause. Knees can be together, resting your belly and your chest on your thighs, or widen your knees and let your ribs fall inside your thighs, giving your body lots of space to inflate as you inhale and soften as you exhale. Tuck your toes, rise to downward facing dog. Take a big lift of your hips and inhale even bigger as your heels rise and exhale to tiptoe. Feet up to top of mat, right between your thumbs. Let's place the backs of our hands down outside our pinky toes. And are you able to bend your elbows any amount here? Soften there. Then squeeze your hands into a fist. Try to push, this is so hard. Try to push your thumb onto your middle finger or your index finger. Woo. Reopen your hands. Squeeze a fist, push your thumb down. Release, let your head hang. We have 2 more warming our wrist. Exhale as you squeeze. Inhale, flood the fingertips with breath. Exhale. Inhale. Let's roll, literally roll, guys. 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to the tip top. Our extended mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Carrying on. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg steps back. You are welcome to wiggle back really far and continue kneeling through our lunges, or stay elevated. Clasp your hands behind your low back. Are you able to stay low? Knuckles are chasing your right heels, your back heels. And if possible, we're rising 6 inches or so that there's air between our stomachs and our left thighs. Breathing and strengthening your front leg. Send some good positive vibes down to your left glutes. They're working hard. 1 more big breath in. Arms rise. And it's one of those moments. Just sink into this lunge. Take a big breath. Beautiful. Right hand crosses outside your left thigh, and your left arm opens behind you. You may or may not want to take a peek towards your left fingers, enhancing your twist. I have a challenge for you. If you look back, close your left eye. Can you wink? And if you do, try to find your left fingers with your right eye. Ooh, that requires a big twist. Scissor your inner thighs together to stay steady. Be confident as you breathe. Coming back to the center slowly. Easier said than done. And arms rise high, big V for victory. Release. Push back, downward facing dog. Well done, yogis. Take a little wiggle of your hips, free your body. Roll yourself forward, plank position. Pull your chest proudly forward. Chaturanga slowly melt into the earth. Wipe or step your toes way far back. Walk your fingers all the way overhead and spin your thumbs up so just your pinky fingers are resting on the ground. Let's enliven everything else. Elbows, knees, and thighs are lifted. Take a huge breath in. Tuck chin so back of neck is really long. And when you breathe out, lift toes, knees, and thighs, and pinky fingers. Full locust pose. Focus more on elongating, becoming wider and longer than lifting higher. Breathe twice more. Feel your body floating up and down as your breath fills your belly. Exhaling and releasing. Child's pose. Come on back, take a sway in your hips. Tuck your toes, rise high to the sky, downward facing dog. Right leg elevates, yogis. Lift and lengthen. Think about pushing away. Push long from the top of your head through your right toes. Right heel towards your butt. Right knee opens to the side. Notice, does your chest open? That's cool. Does it feel better if you keep your chest squared and open just your knee? There's no wrong answers. I just want you to explore. Inhale, try again. Maybe you open your chest. How does that feel? Close your chest. How does that feel? Well done. Let's take a peek forward. Draw your knee back under your navel and step forward for that big old lunge. High lunge, my friends. Inhale, arms reach behind you. Squeeze the very palms together and send your knuckles towards your back heel. Elevate your chest any amount so your stomach clears your right thigh. Oh, we're working, so send the positive vibes into your right glute. Outer thigh, back of buns, working hard. Inhale, rise, big beautiful breath with freedom. That feels good. Twisting with me, left hand, front or back of the hand, over your right thigh. Swivel your right arm backwards and your options, looking to your right fingers. Getting extra tricky today, closing our right eyes and looking for our right fingers with our left eyes. Balance is very challenged when we close an eye, so squeeze your inner thighs together and breathe. Believe in yourself. Come back to center. We made it. Whew. Fingertips down. Step your back leg forward. Hang heavy in the upper half and roll to rise. Big inhalation. Hey now, good job in your balances. Ready to add on? Inhale high. Exhale, release any way that feels good for you. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg steps back. We're coming into pyramid. Now, I love a big, wide pyramid. Traditionally, yogis, our pyramids are about 3 feet from your front toes to your back heel. So it would probably look a little something like what I have here. But a wide one with your back heel lifted feels extra delicious because we get the front right leg hamstring, but we get our left, our back leg calf. So hang out in any of the pyramids that you enjoy. Most important is that you're feeling happy. If you're on fingertips, bend your knuckles, start to pull the tips towards the center of your hand. And if your wrists got tired there, make little fists. So to encourage a bit more, we're gonna pulse here. Right knee is soft, micro bent, and we're pulsing our chin down towards our right toes. Completely optional, but this will send some more intention, some more breath and focus to the right hamstring. 2 more, yogis. And 1, beautiful job. Walk fingertips back forward, so much so that your back heel rises. You bend your front leg and we lift the back leg. Supported warrior 3. Stay right here or join me in a little challenge. Right fingers under the nose. Left arm opens skywards as you open your hips and your chest away from the right side. Let's try to stack our bodies. Half moon pose. It's very challenging, not just for balance, but for our hamstrings. So if you don't love it, come on back to warrior three. One more big breath. Slowly we'll meet our friends who waited patiently in warrior three. Bend your right knee and step your feet together. Forward fold. Inhale, rolling to rise. Lift and lengthen, and we're coming right back down, yogis. Big forward fold. So we roll a lot in my class, but if you prefer to hinge, that's lovely. You can send your arms wide, swan dive, forward, flat back, and then release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg steps back. You choose. Traditional, like a plain vanilla pyramid pose. That's about 3 feet from front toes to back heel. Or we can give a little extra oomph to our pyramid pose. You step as wide as you enjoy. Your back heel will be lifted in this case. And we're just gonna play here for a sec, figuring out our hips. Maybe we wanna move them around. Figuring out our palms to strengthen our wrists. Are you able to draw your shoulders from your hip bones and your tail away from your head? If you're ready and joining me, pulsing down for 8. We take our nose towards our toes. Inhale, exhale. Personally, I enjoy exhaling on the effort. So the effort here is when we rise. It's tough to rise, yes? So I'll inhale lower, exhale, rise. One more. Rebending your left knee, pushing out through the back leg. Warrior three, supported. Move your hands as far forward as you feel like you need. When the right leg rises, our shoulders will shift forward. So find that support. Stay, working on pushing your right foot long away from your hip. Or join me, left hand under your nose. Right arm rises skywards as we stack. Right shoulder and right hip over the left side, half moon pose. I'm super lucky I have a wall nearby because I almost fell over on each side, so I just used my wall. It's the best part about being at home. Always use your props, your furniture to your advantage. Eyes down, let's meet our friends back in warrior three. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, step your feet together and forward fold. Roll to rise. We need to be true to our class and get a couple more vinyasas in our flow. Are you ready? We're gonna go vanilla vinyasa here. Breathe in, breathe out. That means no fancy business. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. That also means we're gonna move a little speedier. Right leg steps back. Left leg steps back. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to chaturanga, slowly melt into the mat. Iguana again, or you can keep your hands close to your body, press through your palms, stay bent in your elbows for this first round and look forward. Baby cobra, remember feet come wider left to right if your back feels compressed. Release, push back, right to dog, or I prefer a little child's pause. And then I find my dog. Baby stretch through the spine, then the big stretch in your spine. Right leg rises, take a big lift. Look forward, step between your thumbs, let your hips melt down. Back leg follows, we are in forward fold. Inhale, roll to rise, big breath to the sky. Eyes follow. Extra challenge, lifting the heels, staying steady, pulling inner thighs together, belly in, strong in your breath, confidence, inhale. Down, exhale. Heels down, melt into your fold any way you enjoy. Halfway lift, breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Left leg steps back first this time. Right leg steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. So we've done iguana, wide hands, elbows up, we rolled. We've done baby cobra, palms flat, looking forward, keeping elbows bent. If you're feeling pretty bendy in your low back, you might enjoy an up dog. Straighten your arms, but you must lift your knees and thighs here and try to pull your chin out from your low half, lifting out from the low back. Roll back, yogis, straight to dog or pass through, maybe a child, maybe a table. Let's move into our left leg stretch. Three-legged dog, big breath. Think length over height, so lift to wherever it feels good. Left heel bends to butt. We're just gonna be inquisitive here. As you open your left knee to the side, would you like to open your chest? Peek out under, hey, peek out under your left elbow. Cool, and then turn your chest towards your right knee again. Keep your hip yawning open and just see what you like better. 2 more big breaths in. Full exhalations. When you're ready, re-square your hips. Press your leg away, look towards your left thumb. Step in between your thumbs. If your foot gets stuck under your stomach, hold your ankle and help it right underneath your knee. Back foot steps in, we are folded. And when your inhalation is ready to shine, lift your heart skywards. All right, let's move on to some balance. Inhale, arms overhead. Take feet as wide as you want, wider, stabler, more stable. We're lifting our heels, challenge on, big toes together if you'd like to join me. Baby back bend. So think of like a Titanic ship and that big, beautiful woman on the front. She's like a statue on the front, how she has her arms spread really wide and she just feels really big and bold. Think of that. Some beautiful creature just opening itself up in every direction. One more big breath in and out. Working through those wobbles. Anytime we stumble, it just becomes part of our yoga dance. Eyes forward, hands meet at heart center. Heels are going to be the last thing to melt down. Can we find forward fold with our heels still lifted? It's okay if you want to step wider. We're going to journey down together. Smooth, smooth as you can make it, I should say. Once you arrive in your forward fold, heels melt down. Whoo, thank goodness we've arrived. Back in safe together. Buns fall, chair pose, arms rise. Taking arms to goalposts or cactus. Sit deep into your hips. Watch my knees and my hips. They stay forward as I twist. So what we don't want, yogis, is to twist our whole body. Keep knees, hips forward. Let's take a peek, twisting to the right. Come back to the center. Look and twist left. Now, can you fold a little bit and do the same thing? Staying in your chair, but just send your chest a bit more forward. Twist to the right side. Back to center. Twist to the left side. Use breath. I love an exhale to twist. Back to center, hands at prayer. Fold a little more. Twist to the right. Does your left elbow want to connect with your right outer thigh? It's okay if it doesn't, just stay twisted, look to your right. If you've made connection, push your palms together. Guide your thumbs towards your sternum and breathe. Coming back to the center, lift a little, take some of the intensity out of the thighs, hang in. We're here together, we're gonna do this, ready? Hinge a bit more, twist to the left. Does your right thigh want to connect with your left outer thigh? Right elbow, right elbow, connect to your left outer thigh. Press through your palms if you've made connection, eye gaze to the left. Breathe, push your tail away from the crown of your head. Always searching for space. Come back to center, inhale. Heels rise, yogis. We're done with chair, but we have one final challenge to get us out of here. Heels rise. Stand slowly. I know, it's hard. Arms up and overhead. Spread your toes. Soften your face. Spread your fingers. Give me a little wave. Release your heels. Release your hands. Oh, we're safe. Good job. We're going to make our way down to twists, but we have a little challenge. So shake out your legs. Do a funny dance so your thighs feel better. All right. Let's move arms somewhere that helps us balance, wherever that may be. Might even be on your hips or at your heart. Lift your left knee and circle it out to the side. Try that a couple more times. Lift to center, out to side. Center and side. Next time you get outside, hold, please. Remember Shiva squat? We crossed left knee behind the right, and we're gonna squat in the right knee to lower left shin to the floor. Relift, left knee to side. So we're making our way down to that twist, and we're gonna be strong to get there. Shiva squat, inhale. So in Shiva squats, you may need support. Hands can come down, brace on the floor like we did in our supported warrior 3. We have one more. This time, yogis, with or without hands, can you let yourself land in seated twist? Ah, yes, we made it. Good job. Hug onto your right knee. Literally hug it. Squeeze it into your chest. Start to feel your outer thigh and glute. So if you got a little too crunched in as you sat down there, shift around so you feel comfy. And let's hug, but shift our eye gaze to the right. Little twist, navel to thigh here. Take another big breath in. It's a beautiful place to stay, but if you feel like you want a little more, we can cross our left elbow outside, right thigh. Right hand can plant behind us, and we'll look over the right shoulder. And see if you can soften somewhere. Left fingers might be able to fall. I like to connect them to the bottom of my left foot to help me twist just a bit more deeply. One more big breath in. Let's come back forward with our bodies and take our right leg straight. So we're gonna hold both hands on our right legs, yogis. Now when you get adjusted and straighten your right leg, just make sure you haven't caught any flesh underneath your sits bones or your tail. If you did, wiggle or gently guide it out so you feel comfy, and then hold onto your right leg. Now see my shoulders? This tends to happen. We don't want that. So let your shoulders go, and we're gonna go nose to toes pose. So we're sitting as straight as we can. Both hands are strong, and my elbows, my biceps are gonna pull nose and toes together. Sit up straight. It's okay if you wanna hold on with just your right hand and help yourself sit straight with your left hand. And while we're here, we're gonna do a little pointing, a little flexing through our feet, a bit of circling, breathing, scrunching our toes and widening them. Breathe in strong for one more cycle here. Coming back with both hands, if you had your left hand down, re-grab. Switch left hand to the outer ankle of the right leg, and right arm opens as we draw this leg across our body. Open up, and remember, you can always plant your hand to help your spine feel really confident. Eye gaze looks to the right, away from our toes. One more big breath here, yogis. All right, so the fun part, I love this, is getting back to standing. So you choose, you're gonna put your foot down somewhere, and we're gonna try to stand out with no hands. We're gonna try, just a try. So you can also cross it over, put it anywhere, and I'll just show you first. Okay, so you're gonna use your leg. Notice I don't have hands, but I'm gonna use my left knee to push me up. And then I'm falling forward into standing split. Okay, so even if your foot's uncrossed, you can do the same thing. You're gonna use your left leg to push you up to standing split. No shame in the game of pushing your hands down, uncrossing your legs. Any way you can get to rise is good. Fold in deeply. Point your left toes and see if you can squeeze your left buns to rise a little higher in your leg. We can do standing split with our toes down, still feeling folded, still breathing, still engaging our back bodies. One more breath, yogis. Let's bend left knee to chest and forward fold. Both feet flat, back to safety. Roll to rise. Awesome job. Let's try that on the other side. So we're gonna shake out just for a sec, just because it feels good to let go. And if you can't be silly at home on your yoga mat, where can you be? Let's open arms somewhere that feels great for us. So we just shook free, so we feel rejuvenated. Left knee, or excuse me, right knee, big lift, inhale. And just start by opening and closing. Remember that your hands can be anywhere it feels right for you. A hug would be nice. Oh, that's good. Next time you get out, let's stay out, and we're gonna Shiva squat. Try to bend your left knee so that you can take your right shin parallel to the ground. Oh, I got a tricky side here. Lift back up. It's okay. So if you need to, you can always hold on to a piece of furniture or your wall if you're feeling really wobbly like me. Or you put your fingers on the floor like supported warrior 3 arms, and we help ourselves. We have one more full round. Next time you get back, we're gonna sit all the way down. So try to not use your hand. Maybe push them far away from the floor. You're like, I won't do it. I won't touch down. Land, sitting softly. Plopasana, that happens. Don't worry if you plopped and rolled backward. Come back to us. And just squeeze your left leg wherever it landed. Like, good job, leg. You worked super hard. All right, let's set ourselves up for a twist. Left foot can be in front of shin or over the thigh. Remember to clear flesh gently from your sits bones and tail. And as you give yourself that hug, just gently twist to the left. Take a peek over left shoulder. This is a great place to stay, really detoxifying in these twists, very energizing for our low spine. And when we twist, we tend to cut off some of the blood supply. So when we untwist, whoosh, all the good oxygenated blood comes back. But if you want some more, right arm comes across, left hand plants down, and we lift our spines. Then just try to soften the lower right arm. Whenever we have a moment in a posture, asking yourself where you can let go. Maybe you can close your eyes and come within. Back to the center, leg extension. We're gonna gather up our left leg with both hands. Just recheck once you do that your sits bones and tail are free of flesh. And as you do, our shoulders tend to become clip-on earrings, so we're just gonna let them go. Lots of hands, lots of elbow bending, lots of bicep strength to pull toes to nose. And if you feel really slumped in your low back, push your right hand down, help yourself sit tall. Revisit toes to nose. Breathing some length and energy into the back of your left thigh. If your right hand was down, regather it around your calf and then hold the outer left leg. Left hand comes to the floor. We're gonna cross our body with our left legs and try to outstretch left fingertips, peeking towards them. Beautiful twist. Draw your right ribs into your left thigh here. One more big breath in. Come back to the center, regather that toes to nose pose, and then where do you want to land this foot, yogis? We're going to try to stand with no hands. So using our right outer leg, remember, oh, this feels hard on this side. Remember that as we come to standing, we're going to stand all the way up, lift our right leg, then touch down. If we need to, we use our hands. Try your best, but do what's right for you ultimately. Upside down is where it's at. Tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your forehead to your shin. And don't even worry about where your right leg is. But once you get comfy breathing and hanging out upside down, you'll start to squeeze your right cheek to elevate your right toes skywards. Take another big breath in. Full exhalation, drawing your right hand towards your chest, forward fold, and from here, yogis, bend yourself back into a chair, into a squat. Yeah, your heels might rise, that's okay. Some of you may be able to settle yourself in somewhere, like maybe a little wider, and then your heels might fall, whatever feels good, but we're gonna yogi squat. So this is a nice one. I find this incredibly hard, so I'm working on this myself with the narrow feet, trying to get my Achilles tendons to stretch and my heels to fall. So you don't always have to work on something hard. You can come to what's familiar and comfy for you. You know me, I like to move, so let's think about how we can snuggle in a little deeper to our squats. Now, wherever you've landed, I want you to try today to reach around the front of your shins and hold on to your ankles, rolling your chin to your chest in a little ball. So I'm going to reclose my toes, lift my heels. It gives you a little something to hold on to. I'll show you from the side. And then we tuck our chest inside our knees. Wrap around the front of the shins, hold something, and curl into a tiny little ball. Gets pretty wobbly, doesn't it? You might fall forward or back. Just prepare yourself for whatever may happen. Grounding in a little bit more deeply, allowing your body to open and receive you. And we may Plavasana again, but we're going to try to lift our chests. Once again, entering the floor, a seated position with no hands. Did you make it, yogis? Good job. Scooch so you're flesh free under your points of contact, tail and sits bones, and allow the soles of your feet to come together. All right, let's lift what we just folded. Bring fingers behind you and press into the earth to lift your chest. So I'm going to show you from the back a little wrist stretch that I love. We can just keep our hands flat, that's cool. But if you wanted to try something a little new, you can clasp your hands behind your low back, flip your palms to face away from your back, push your palms down, they stay clasped, and then lift your chest. I like to do that, but it's quite tricky on wrists. So if you get there and you're like, ah, ouch, get rid of it. It's not worth it. And if you did that, you'll notice that your one finger probably always crosses in the front. So let's switch it. Take all your fingers over by one and then reflip your palms, plant it down that way. It might not be as flexible, but lift your chest. One more. Pushing the blade edges of your feet together, peeling open your inner arches, allowing your legs to fall heavily. Okay, come forward, yogis. This is so nice. We're going to use our hands here, our forearms face the sky, and we're using the backs of our wrists or our elbows to lean and push into our thighs, our calves. So it's like a little self-massage. Oh, so I like to move up and down here. And if it feels better for you, we're going to switch sides whenever you're ready. There's no set time here. If it feels better, you can always cross your legs too instead of having them open. Personally, I like them open because then you have more exposed calf to work into. You're going to use the backs of your hands. You might want to do one and one. I like to stay on one side and just kind of work my way down the thigh. Also nice to press in to get a little weightier in your knees because we have a big twist coming. I'm saving my favorite stretch lately for the last thing we do today. Don't worry, if you have to leave early, I'll get it in before the 5-minute crew has to go. Push down, push around, change the way your arms are facing to feel different sensations. Okay, one more breath. Wherever you didn't get yet, try to press into a new spot or go back to your favorite spot. Big exhalation. Beautiful. And then sit up tall. Cross your left leg closer and then your right leg in front, please. And if you're super comfy in modified half lotus, you can cross your right ankle over your left knee. Wherever you've landed, draw your sits bones back to create length. And let's lean to the left, but we're going to plant, anchor our sits bones. Left fingers, if they're down in a tent, we squeeze them together. Right arm rises and our left shoulder falls as we do this big side bend. Take a stretch off onto the front diagonal and just move around a little bit. Kind of like you're feeling for something in the dark. You want to explore down into the dark area in your right lower back. We're going to create some lightness and brightness in that spot as we breathe into it. Rise up. Send your body the other way. Right arm down, soft in the shoulder, but pulling tented fingertips together, or just use your palm. Send the left arm skywards, and as you soften your right shoulder, reach off on the right diagonal. Maybe we feel around in the dark a little bit over here, enlivening our lower left side and back body. Inhale, rise. Hands behind you, switch the cross of your legs so your right leg will be closest, left leg in front or possibly on top, left ankle on the right knee. Scooch back so you're long from sits bones to knees. Feeling long and lifted? Nice. Let's lean to the right first. Top arm rises, but we're just going to try a little something different this time. Fingers come behind your skull, press your head back, and try to pull your elbow as far from your center as possible. Soften your jaw and your facial features. One more big breath in. Come back to seated. Love that exhale to help you there. Left fingers or palm flat. Right arm rises, get soft in your bottom shoulder. Hand behind skull or behind the ears and use your head. Push back. Push your right elbow far from your heart. Big breaths here. One more. Help yourself to seated with that exhale. When we get to the top, let's re-find our bound angle. For those of you that have to go, here's my favorite twist. You can be in a really close heel to groin position or more like a diamond, whatever's comfy. And then let's twist to the right side. Eyes look to the right, finding our right hand propping us up really tall. Now take your left fingers inside your left thigh or on your knee and push down and away from your heart, getting that massive opening on the outer and inner left thighs. Don't forget to breathe. It's tough to breathe when we're twisted. One more, yogis. Use your exhale. Softly glide forward. Switch. Left hand behind you, peek over your left shoulder. Right hand, place your heel of hand on your knee or the inner thigh. Push down but away from your midline as well. Ooh, breathe into your right outer thigh. Breathe into your right inner thigh. One more beautiful breath in. Don't leave if you don't have to, but it is 1:55. Anyone that can stay, I'm going to take you right to 2 p.m. Come untwisted, lean back, and then send your knees to the ceiling. Feet as wide as your mat is, left to right. And we're just going to take a little tick-tock so that our hips can adjust. Those were big stretches. So you might need to pulse a little. Send your knees one way and the other. Whenever you get back to the right side, let's stay here. Scoot your buns back again and let both knees fall to the right. We have about a 90-degree bend in our knees here for modified pigeon. We're just going to fold forward, letting our outer thigh loosen up a bit, twisting to the right. Think heart very lifted, and then you just drape or spill over your right knee. If you're able to come to your forearms, please try opening your palms skywards to help your chest feel really open and happy. Drop your chin, let the back of your neck hang wrinkle free, and allow tension, mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, drop off of your facial features. Hinge of jaw opens. You can literally see tension dropping off your eyelashes, your cheekbones, your chin, and your earlobes. Bringing hands back under you, slow to rise, just helping yourself get there. Lean back. Lift your knees. Maybe you're windshield wiping again, swishing here and there. Take as much time as you need in that. And when you're ready to let your knees fall left, we're going to journey on over there. Let's check out our knees. We want about 90 degrees there. And then we're going to scooch our buns back so we feel spacious. Turning to the left side. And this could be where you go and stay here. It feels really good. But if you want to get a deep stretch for your left outer thigh, we can try to come down a bit slower, lower, longer, and then just breathe the hard parts over. Little smile in the corners of your mouth, or you can envision the smile in your mind's eye, bringing a soft suppleness to your practice. Trying one more big breath in here. Taking your time, enjoying a full exhalation. And as you support yourself to rise, hands under your shoulders, lift. roll around the corner, taking those swishes again if you need it, or if it feels pretty good in your body, just roll right around, find your tabletop. Tuck all 10 toes. Send your buns back towards your heels, hands under your shoulders, and then roll to lift your knees, roll to lift your hips, and roll to lift your eyes and fingertips skywards. One big, beautiful, luxuriously slow stretch. Close your eyes for a moment, come within. Press palms together overhead and then drop them down past your third eye, reminding us to think kind, loving, compassionate thoughts. Past your lips, reminding us to speak words of wisdom. And down to your heart, thumbs connect or hands can cover heart space, reminding us to stay open-hearted, allow it to feel as big as the world, and lead all of our interactions. Yogis, my light honors yours. Thank you from the bottom of my soul for coming to class today, for sharing your practice with us, and for allowing me to guide you through some shapes that we made beautifully together. Namaste, my friends.